A lot of people like to let me know on a regular basis that I made a mistake buying a manual M240i. Now this car is either spec'd with a manual transmission or the automatic ZF transmission, which is an insane automatic gearbox. I've already made a lot of videos on the channel of why I chose a manual transmission. I don't need to bore you with that today. My choice has already been made. I've chosen the manual transmission. Let me show you what I fitted to this M240i to transform this car, ready for some serious track use. And if you are new around here, I'm getting my manual M240i ready for some UK track days, as well as a Nürburgring. This is kind of part of a mini series where I'm modifying this thing to make it better to go around track. Anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get in the car and I'll show you what I've done. If you are subscribed, you would have seen this modification on my social medias and stuff before, but if you're new around here, this is my short shifter, a Coolerworx Pro short shifter. And here is the big reveal. This thing is finished. And if you haven't seen this thing before, it's looking way better. We've somewhat got a factory finish when it comes to fitting this Coolerworx shifter. Now, in my opinion, this thing right here, it's better than a ZF. Now, obviously, I understand you can tune a ZF with XHP as well as the DCT gearboxes, and they are insanely quick. And let's just get one thing straight before we go any further. I love the automatic transmissions. I've driven this M240i with a ZF tuned. I've also driven the DCT gearboxes, and they are so fast, so quick. They're unmatched when it comes to actually driving the car, and they're so easy. But in my opinion, this short shifter levels up the manual M240i in a way that I can't even describe. So I think before we go any further, let me show you guys how this thing actually sounds and feels. Now, the first video I made on this was me actually installing it on the car. And as far as I know, there aren't many 2 Series with this Coolerworx shifter installed from what I've seen online. So I'm counting myself pretty lucky that in the UK, I haven't seen a 2 Series with one of these installed. If you guys have, you'll have to let me know in the comments. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you this shifter with the clutch in, of course, without the engine running, what this thing sounds like with no other noise, so you guys can hear exactly what this thing is like. And once that is done, we're going to start the car up and we're going to go for a drive. And we're going to see what this short shifter has to offer when it actually comes to driving my manual M240i. Because I see way too many B58s with the ZF gearbox. I love it to bits, but there's too many of them. And you don't see a lot of B58s that are actually manual driven. So let's get started. So that we don't hurt the gearbox, let's put the clutch in. And I'm going to show you guys what this thing actually sounds like. So we're in neutral right now, and you can see it's sprung loaded. So when you push it back either side in neutral, it instantly springs back to the original place. This, you might be wondering what this is for. I'll show you that in just a second. It's a very cool feature. So let's go through some of the gears with this thing. We're going to start from neutral. We're going to go to first all the way to sixth, and you guys can just listen. Now, if you don't find that satisfying, I don't know what will, because this thing, the throw on it is so short, and the click, when it clicks into place, is something that the manual shifter that this car came with just didn't do. And don't get me wrong, the manual shifter that the M240i came with from factory was very short to begin with. This thing, though, it's just on steroids. So I did tell you guys briefly about what this little thing here was for, and a lot of you have probably guessed what it's for, but I may as well show you. You actually pull this little lever up here, which actually triggers something down here, which is all covered, and then that is actually how you get into reverse, like that. And then you simply pull it up, and then you're back into whatever gear you want to choose to be in. Now that you guys have seen that thing in full use, it begs the question, why did I fit this short shifter to the car? Why was I not just content with the shifter that the car came with from factory? And if you're asking yourself that question, it's a very good one, because the short shifter in these manual cars from factory, it's fine. It's nothing ideal, and it's nowhere near as aggressive as the Coolerworx shifter. Now, in some daily driving clips that I will be showing you guys very shortly when we actually take the car out for a little bit of a drive, the Coolerworx isn't going to really show itself too well. It will really show itself and all its value when you're actually on track, shifting through those gears quickly, when you're approaching a corner and you're downshifting fast. That's when it'll come into a world of its own. For daily driving, of course, the manual shifter that these cars come with from factory will do the job. But for my level of driving, having this shifter has improved the car, and also it's now just addicting to drive. If you guys have ever used one of these, you'll know that you just want to get in the car and just drive it because the shifter's cool. So that's the story. You guys know why I fitted it. What you're probably wanting to see now is what this thing is actually like when it comes to driving the car. So let's get this thing started up. Let's take it for a somewhat vigorous drive and have some fun with the Coolerworx shifter. You guys asked for it. You want to see driving POVs? Let's actually drive this thing, manual transmission with the Coolerworx, see what it has to offer. Let's put it into first gear and get moving. Honestly, this thing is pretty incredible. And I think when we're actually on track, pushing the car a little bit faster, pushing it beyond what we can actually do on these roads today, it's going to be something else. Second gear. It's just so sharp and so quick. I love it. Now, all-round driving, yes, a DCT or even a ZF, which is probably a little bit calmer than a DCT when it comes to daily driving, would be the best case scenario. But given where I live, I've talked about it before, a manual transmission, you just can't beat it. Let's give the car a little bit of power. Yeah, we'll be pretty chill today because semi-slicks, they are exactly, let's find out the exact temperature of these tyres right now, because it is 7 degrees outside and we have got 3 degrees on the tyre temps. You don't want to be pushing these tyres today. They need to get some serious heat in them to have the maximum grip. If you are coming up to a junction, it's just really simple. I mean, second gear right now, I could have pulled out if it was safe to do so, but just into first like that. It's so simple to do. Quickly into first, and then we can pull out safely. So we'll go through the gears slightly here. Now, of course, it does suck. We can't really open the car up too much right now. I'm really hoping that come the first UK track day, it's not going to rain, because I haven't really got the best tyres pushing the car in the rain. But when the weather warms up, we'll push it harder. We'll be able to enjoy the Coolerworx and actually push it to its level that it's designed for, which will be really cool. So I have enabled our overrun map with MHD. So if the engine's warm enough, if we put it into sport mode, we should actually hear a few kind of burbles out the window. So let's give it a go. Might have to go into a higher gear, a few more RPMs. All right, hopefully you guys can hear this. Now, I'm usually not the biggest fan of burbles, just because I think they're a little bit childish, and the car's pretty cool, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. So I think I'm just going to stick to the normal B58 tone, the crisp tone that it has, the deep tone, and the Coolerworx shifter, and have some fun with that. And I can still drop down from 6th to 3rd if I want. The car's going to auto rev match, and we can still do that. Now, you might be thinking, how do I know which gear I'm going into? Well, it's a bit of a guessing game still, but the shifter won't go in the wrong gear. I can't physically push it from 6th all the way into 4th if I'm at, you know, fairly high up in the speed. It won't let me do it. So there is kind of a safety measure with it. It won't actually let you make mistakes like that. It kind of goes into the gears that it wants to go into. So if it's in 3rd, it wants to go into 4th, and it kind of just flows that way really nicely. So let's drop down to 3rd here, get a little bit of a pull. It is kind of dry, so we'll be pretty careful on these semi-slicks and see what it has to offer. That's grippy enough for today. There's a little bit of drizzle. I don't want to make any mistakes and risk this car ending up in a hedge before we actually manage to get it on track. That'll be a pretty big disaster. So that answers your questions. You can't actually go into the wrong gears. Obviously, I could force it there if I really wanted to, but it's kind of got a safe precaution on it to not damage the engine, and it just goes into the gears it wants to. And of course, if I'm in 6th right now, I can drop to 4th pretty easily, but it wouldn't really let me go into 2nd if I really tried. And as always, good to let the car cool down after driving it a little bit. Let the oil go through the turbo and all of that stuff. That's the Coolerworx shifter, and also the POV drive. I love this thing. This car's great. We're gonna have so many camera angles set up for actually taking this thing on track. It's gonna be a blast. Well, there we have it. That is the Coolerworx shifter in this car. I'm a big fan. I absolutely love it. It's transformed the car. When we get on track, it's gonna be another level of pure fun. This thing, it's not just a standard shifter anymore. It blends in with the rest of the car. Like I've mentioned, we've got the full black interior, Alcantara, leather, carbon fibre, you name it, it's all here. Combine that with the Pro Shorty shifter that has the carbon fibre built in, it's unreal. So the next step for this car, we've got to get this thing on track, and we've actually got to put this thing to the test and see what it actually has to offer. Because daily driving on these type of roads, the car isn't really coming into a world of its own just yet. So if you guys are interested in that, now would be a brilliant time for you to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming content of the small track build with this car. Because if you're not subscribed, you might have missed that I fitted 763M style alloys with the 18s in gunmetal grey. Combine that with the Accelera 651 Sport semi-slick tyres. These things on track are going to be unreal. It's too cold right now to really put them to the test. When the roads have heated up, the temperature in the air is warmer, these things are going to be so sticky. Quick look at the fitment. Look at the fitment on this thing now. It's unreal. Combined to the back, where the actual fitment is even better. Look at this thing. We've got a little bit of camber. This thing has still got to get a fast road setup ready for the track use. There's another thing, which there will be a better video on this very soon, because this is the #1 modification any BMW owner should fit to their car. And you guys can probably guess it just by looking at this wheel. It's not the 763M alloy, and it's not the semi-slick tyre. It's the stud nut conversion. This thing is a game changer. So if you do want to see the full video on that, you'll have to subscribe so you don't miss it. Apart from that, I hope you guys like the shifter. You'll have to let me know in the comment section. Would you fit it to your car? Do you think it's overkill? Do you think it's not worth the price? I personally love it, and I think going forward, I don't think I can have an automatic transmission when a Coolerworx shifter exists. Anyways, me and the M240i will catch you guys in the next video. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving the video a like so more people can see it. And of course, if you want to see more content, subscribe. It's free and it really helps me out. Apart from that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching today. Bye for now.